4.5 turns, green light, 9 on the torque, 0.0.
Copy, and status indicator?
It is locked.
Okay, you can hand that PGT back to Chris to stow on his swing arm and release the RET.
Chris has the PGT and here's your RET.
All right, I'll just take this scoop straight in front of me.
Okay. And shall I collect the scoop in front of me as well, Jess?
We're taking the scoop from H1 only. And that's going to be going over
H1
to
only.
the DCSU.
I have the scoop from H1.
You want me to put the scoop back on H2? I can move it to someplace.
Checking.
After I get the scoop, can I egress the APFR?
A-firm, Bob, you can egress. We're going to be relocating that scoop to the DCSU and rolling the APFR to Foxtrot.
Jaws, confirm you want me to leave this scoop on H2. I already have it off. I'll put it back on if that's what you'd like.
We're looking for the next location for it. Stand by.
That self-lock is a little bit, yeah, it's kind of there, but it doesn't engage very far.
Yeah. It's not obviously.
It's definitely not obviously. You're trapping ingress aid there right underneath your belly.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, I moved it on you.
And Chris, you can either leave the H2 scoop there if you think it's going to be needed for body positioning, or you can move it to battery 4 at H1.
Okay, battery 4H1.
It'll go 9 o'clock straight up.
And Jaws, just to verify, roll to Foxtrot, correct, for the APFR?
A-firm, Foxtrot.
And then what's my next? The scoop, correct?
And so that scoop that was off of H1 will go to DCSU H2 at 9 o'clock or straight up.
Oh.
Can I hand it to you?
Yeah.
It's right by your...
Absolutely. Straight.
Straight up. I agree, I'll check the checklist.
And we're in a short handover period between satellites right now, but we should be regaining video and audio communication with the crew here shortly.
It's straight up.
Okay.
9 o'clock. Relative to the doghouse, I think is down.
It's
Look at the checklist.
Battery, it should be down. I think you're correct.
Yeah, it's correct.
Battery 4 both go down.
Yep, I agree.
Is that correct, Jaws?
yeah, A-firm. Sorry, it's straight down at battery 4.
For both scoops.
Alright, what's the next kind of big chunk does?
And Chris, the next big chunk, we're moving, so you'll both be heading over to the EP. We're going to be moving battery Bravo to slot 3.
Battery Bravo to slot 3. Look at that.
They're cooking. Good work.
Put the lid on that.
Yeah.
I'll get out of your way.
Bankin and Cassidy have now removed the aging battery from slot 3 and installed it on the adapter plate in slot 2, where it is no longer needed to function. Cassidy and Bankin will now return to the external pallet to retrieve battery B, and they'll translate back to the truss and together install it in empty slot number 3.
It's on.
Yeah.
Battery Bravo to slot 3, so guess looking for a go to get in the HFR.
Okay, Chris, we're going to relocate some scoops first. So you are go to translate onto the EP, and you're going to be moving scoops from the battery in slot Alpha to the lithium-ion battery in slot Bravo.
Alpha, Bravo. And the clocking.
Okay, Chris, for the battery in slot Bravo at H1, it'll be at the 9 o'clock or straight down.
Straight down relative to the pallet. H1 is in and locked.
Copy, Chris. For H2, it'll also be 9 o'clock straight down.
Copy, also 9 o'clock straight down. Right, I've ingressed the APFR. I'm working on H2 scoop.
Okay, Chris, can I have you just do a ingress aid check, tether's clear, and a serial number?
Serial number 0024.
Copy, and you'll be reading to H2.
Heading to H2. That ret is complete.
Okay, and PGT settings
And
are Alpha 7, counter 2.
Clear.
Copy.
All right, just double checking everything. I'm tethered. Are locked. Ops ready. Alpha 7. Counterclockwise 2. Going to H1.
H2.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that. Already done.
And it'll be approximately 19 turns.
19 turns. Okay, Doug, I'm doing some work on your pallet.
You're clear. Brakes are on.
Okay, the tool is inserted to the tape line. I can feel it's on the socket. And copy 19 turns.
A-firm.
Here we go. Worked out. There we go. First attempt worked out right away. Driving now.
Copy.
For 19.
Cassidy and Bankin are now working on the external pallet to retrieve battery B. They'll translate back to the truss and together install it in empty slot number 3.
It's working light. The unlock indicator is unlocked.
Copy, Chris. You can stow the PGT, and when Bob's ready, you can remove the battery, and you'll be transferring H1 to Bob with a RET swap.
Okay, H1 to Bob with a ret swap.
A-firm, we want Bob to end up redded to H1.
Okay, copy. On just a sec, my VGT Velcro I'm undone. Okay, VGT Velcro is secure. Ready, Bob? Ready. Coming out.
a red on there.
Copy.
I am ready. Take the battery for a second.
I have the battery.
Okay. I will release my BRT. Okay, you've got the battery.
I have the control of the battery.
I have control of the battery.
You have control and releasing my rep. It's released, you have control.
Copy.
And with that, Chris, you can...
Now coming up on 3.5 hours into today's spacewalk. Recapping some of the milestones so far today, Chris Cassidy and Bob Behnken placed their suits on internal battery power, marking the official start of today's spacewalk at 6:32 a.m. Central Time. The first nickel hydrogen battery was released from slot number 1, and the crew worked together to move it over to the external pallet to install it in slot X for disposal. The crew then removed the new lithium-ion battery from slot A and translated it back to the truss, where they installed it in empty slot number 1. The new lithium-ion battery from slot A was installed in slot number 1, and the crew then worked to remove the battery in slot number 2 and translated it over to the external pallet, where Cassidy removed an adapter plate and handed it off to Behnken. Behnken translated to the truss to install the adapter plate in open slot 2, and Cassidy then installed the old battery in the slot that was emptied for disposal. Next, together on the integrated electronics assembly, Cassidy and Behnken placed a cable between the adapter plate and the new battery to complete the first of 3 circuits. Behnken and Cassidy then removed the aging battery from slot 3, which was then stowed on the adapter plate in slot 2, where it is no longer needed to function. Cassidy and Behnken just completed work on the external pallet to retrieve battery B, and they'll now translate back to the truss and together install it in empty slot number 3.
I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
Okay. You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
Okay. You have control. I have control of the battery.
You have control. I have control of the battery.
You have control.
Go ahead on 3.
I have control of the battery.
You have control. Go here, then back off a little bit.
That's good.
Okay, I have control.
You have control. I have control.
You have control. You have control.
Okay. You have control. I'm going to put my local on the other side of the APFR.
Roger.
I have control.
You have control. I think I can go onto the BSU. What do you think? Is that a good spot?
Yeah, we need to get up there high, so.
Yeah. Because this might be the one where you ingress your APFR next, right?
Yeah.
Going up there high.
And you probably need to take over the red.
Yeah, let me take the red.
I've got the battery.
You've got the battery. I have a ret. I have control.
Okay, I'm going to release my red.
Copy that.
And Bob, prior to ingressing the APFR, you'll want to check that the gap spanner is clear of slot 3.
You have the battery and you have the red.
I have the battery. I have the ret.
It's kind of dark out here, Chris.
Yeah, it's kind of dark.
And I have a caution for both of you, since this is one of the slots with the interference. Avoid translation and BRT loads into a scoop on the H2 microsquare for lithium-ion batteries installed with bracket interference. And slot 3 is one of those slots.
Okay, copy.
Hey, Chris. I will still my ingress aid.
Okay, Bob, once you do that and check your tethers clear, we'll take an inspection of the IAA receptacle.
You can pause there, Chris. Is that okay, please?
Pausing.
We have the IEA receptacle. The electrical connectors are clear, no fraud. Pins look straight to me. There's a little bit of discoloration on the fins on the, I guess, aft portion, but it doesn't, it looks like just a discoloration in the center, about an inch long. I don't think it will be an interference.
Copy that, Bob. And EMI band?
EMI band looks good.
Okay, copy.
Okay,
And we're just checking quickly on that discoloration. But as you hand off the battery, H2 will end up outboard.
Okay, and Chris will need to inspect the underside of the battery, is that correct?
Yeah, Ephraim, you'll want to present the bottom to Chris for inspection of the blind mate connectors, FOD, and EMI band.
Okay. Maintain control, Chris. I'll put a ret on it.
I have control. Oh, you go ahead. You go for the red.
Okay, I have a ret. You can release your ret. I have control.
You have control. My ret's coming off. My ret's off. Either you taking it. All right. Checking it out. All the fins look good. Yeah. Can't see the blind. It's in the left, which is kind of buried. Let me change my angle. Anyway, you can bring that blind mate side up a little bit. Sorry, I know it's tough.
That's about all I can do.
That's all you got. Okay, there, I got it. Good. 05, pins are good. MI, all good. Okay, thanks.
Okay, copy, Chris. And are you in a good position to get us either WVS or some pictures of that discoloration?
If Bob is comfortable holding the battery there.
It almost looks like a Sharpie in the middle of the leftmost fin.
Copy.
Where is it?
It's in the leftmost fin. I don't know if in the dark you're going to be able to get a picture.
Yeah, I don't see it. All right.
And the sun is coming up in 2 minutes.
All right, I got a bunch of pictures in this lighting configuration. If you want to wait for the light, you can do that.
Checking. Okay, Chris, we're happy with that. So we'll just use those pictures. That should be good, and we can continue.
It's not interference. It's just like a marking or something in there.
Copy all. So with that, Chris, once you stow that battery or stow that camera again, we're going to be soft docking the battery onto H2 with H2 outboard.
We're oriented correctly. H2 is outboard. And Chris, if you could just let me know if it's clear there. That crew lock bag and stuff is up there.
Clear the crew lock bag. You need to bring your spill over the edge a little bit, so down towards your knees. There you go. There you go. Clear, clear, clear. All good.
I think that's a soft dock.
Lined up. And you're looking for VGT.
Okay, yep, Chris, you'll transfer your PGT, and Bob, look for Alpha 7, clockwise 2.
The Alpha 7, clockwise 2.
You're going to H2, confirm socket tape line flush, looking for 16 to 17 turns.
Alpha 7, clockwise 2, on H2. The tape line is flush. Here we go. Indicator's moving. Battery appears to be going in.
I agree. This one seems snugger up against the wall than the other guy.
There's a green light. It looks like 15 and a half turns. The status indicator indicates lock.
And what was the torque?
9.
Copy, 9 even.
Yes, 9.0.
Okay, that's slightly low on the turn count, so we're just checking real quick down here. Okay.
This is one of the ones with the interference.
Yep, A-firm, and we are go to continue. So for H1, same settings, Alpha 7, clockwise 2. You'll confirm the tape line flush, looking for 4 to 5.5 turns.
Copy. Indicator's moving. It's torqued out. The indicator is not quite to lock. 9.2. And it looks like we had about 4 turns.
Copy, 4 turns, and torque was 9.2, but the status indicator doesn't quite look locked?
The status indicator on battery is maybe a 1/4 inch from lock.
Okay, we're good with that. You can hand that PGT back to Chris to stow on a swing arm and release that RET.
That firm.
Yep.
Flush with the adjacent battery.
Everything looks straight.
And
Where do these scoops go?
with that, so you actually moved one of the scoops we already needed over, so we're going to relocate the APFR. And so for now, the scoops can stay. And it sounds like we're far enough ahead that we can move on to the first block from EVA 2 if you're both good with that.
Yeah, good.
Okay, copy. So that being said, we'll relocate the APFR to WIF 22. Clocking is 12. Chris?
WIF 22, clocking is 12.
Yep, A-firm. And Chris, you've already moved the scoop we needed, so if you want to give us a glove, hap, and gauntlet check, we can take that.
Okay, gauntlets, it in place, gloves, pristine, same black smudge, cap, dry, baseline.
Copy, good check.
Jazz, my radio was a little crackly when you were just talking. Did you hear it perfectly fine, all those words?
Yeah, the same as it's been the whole time.
Okay. Yeah, Josh, I missed about 50% of the words that I heard Bob. I heard you say, Bob, to move the APFR, but I missed some other stuff, so maybe tag me up one more time.
Yeah, okay, Chris. So Bob's relocating the APFR, and then we're going to move into moving battery 4 to EP slot Bravo.
Copy that.
So
All right.
Chris, before you do anything else, can we get you to take some pictures of that slot interference with the bracket, the one in slot 3 that you just installed?
Certainly.
Okay, Jaws, the APFR has been relocated to WIF 22. Yeah, clocking is 12. Black on black. We got a good pull and a good twist test. And the pitch knob pops out.
Copy, and Quebec Hotel 12, the remaining settings.
Copy, Quebec set and hotel. Hotel set.
Copy, Hotel 12 set. With that, Bob will take a glove, hap, and gauntlet check.
My cap is the baseline. Change. The gauntlets are both up. My right glove is pristine except for a small head on my index finger on the inside. Just a small thread, or maybe it's a piece of that's just a piece of like overflow RTD. And the left glove is pristine.
Okay, copy that, Bob, and we could see that in the WVS. Okay, with that, Bob, we'll have you check that the gap spanner is clear of slot 4, and then you can ingress the APFR. And Chris, once you're done with the photos, you can get in a good position to assist with battery 4 and have the ratchet wrench handy, unless you want to go ahead and start braking torque.
Okay, copy. I'm going to ditch the camera and
before you ditch it, take a picture of a dragon out there. It's a good, good location, good time. I don't know if we're going to make it through another day-night cycle.
Yeah, you can go for it now if you'd like.
Yeah, that's good. You're in a good position. My angle is kind of... Oh, I got it. I bumped your yaw.
I fixed it, thanks. Endeavor's a pretty ship on the front end of the space station right now.
Yeah, it is. I have good tactile feel of this button.
Yeah, I could see the click, to see the shutter move when it was pointed at me, but I don't have good tactile feel on the button either. It's a pretty shot. I think the folks at Hawthorne will appreciate it, getting a chance to see the ship from this angle on the sunny day. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
With that, Jaws, do I have a go to ingress the APFR?
Affirm, Bob, as long as you check that gap spanner is clear, you can ingress, tuck the ingress aid, and check your tethers are clear.
The battery 4 location is well clear of any gap spanners at this time. After I'm ingressed, I'll move the ingress aid.
Copy.
On your way, Bob?
Nope.
Okay, camera is back on structure.
Copy, Chris. You can get in a position to help with battery 4 and have the ratchet wrench handy. If you are in a position to go to H1, you can do that to brake torque.
Okay, ratchet wrench.
I've ingressed the APFR. ingress aid is stowed.
Copy, Bob. Tether's clear?
Tethers are clear.
Okay.
And I think we should tether.
We'll take the serial number and then a ret to the H1 scoop.
Serial number is 0092, and I'll ret to the H1 scoop.
Copy.
I am retted to the H1 scoop.
Copy. I think I see Chris braking torque on H1.
I know. I pointed it.
Okay, so this is the,
Yeah, but didn't touch it.
okay. Okay, so we've got the H1 for battery 4, and that was the expected serial number 0092. Yes.
Affirm it was. And you are go to brake torque after confirming socket tape line flush.
Okay, socket tape line is flush. H1 torque is broke.
Copy. Same for H2. Confirm the tape line flush. Brake torque less than 1 turn.
Tape line is flush on H2. Torque is broke on H2. Got it. You got it, Chris?
Okay, and Chris, you can send that back to the crew lock bag and hand off your PGT with the 6-inch.
Okay, I have the PGT, and I will.
GoPro keeps coming up.
Yeah. The Velcro's back on. We'll go Alpha 7, counter 2.
Affirm.
On H1.
Good words. You're looking for approximately 8 turns. And Chris, you can relocate that PGT with a hex driver in the meantime to battery 3 H1 scoop using that adjustable equipment tether.
Battery 3 H1 scoop.
Affirm.
Turn in on H1. Indicators moving. It started skipping at about 5, but there's 8 turns on H1.
Copy, Bob, and status indicators unlocked?
Yes, the status indicator is unlocked.
Copy, and for an update, you are 4 hours into the EVA. Limiting consumables MEDOX on Bob at 6:40, and you're about 2 hours ahead on the timeline.
Copy.
Okay, driving on drive on H2, Jasmine, but I just want to catch up.
Yep, Affirm, confirm socket tape line is flush and looking for about 19 turns, and we're about to have a handover in a minute.
Tape line is flush, I'll start turning.
You jacking?
there's 18 turns. Status indicator is unlocked, and it was unlocked the last 3 turns.
Okay, so pull that sucker out.
Okay, Chris and Bob, I'm back with you. I copied the good release on H2. Probably transferred that PGT back to Chris to put in a swing arm and unlock the ret.
All complete.
Okay.
Bob, I want to assess.
And now 4 hours into today's spacewalk, running ahead of their timeline today, Cassidy and Bankin are now starting to tackle the first task planned for next Wednesday's second spacewalk to replace batteries for the S6 Truss's 1B channel. Having completed all of the planned tasks for this first spacewalk involving the removal of 3 aging nickel-hydrogen batteries from the Truss's integrated electronics assembly and installing 2 new lithium-ion batteries in the truss, the spacewalkers are now moving a 4th nickel-hydrogen battery planned for next Wednesday's spacewalk, and will also move an adapter plate into the truss to await the installation of another new lithium-ion battery next Wednesday.
All right, and I'll take your red, I guess.
Wait for you to maintain control while you get a red on.
All right, my red's in place, and I have control.
Okay, I will remove my red. My red's removed.
Copy that.
You have control.
I have control. You scrunch down the
You think we're going to be able to get it over the top of the APFR there?
I think so. If you have a decent spot to secure yourself, let's do that spot right there. You ready?
I am ready.
Okay. I'm in your way.
Okay. Okay, I have the battery.
You have the battery. I have the red. Way out of here.
Yeah, thank you.
clear of the battery.
Again, running ahead of schedule, the spacewalkers are now removing the fourth nickel-hydrogen battery planned for next Wednesday's spacewalk and will move an adapter plate into the truss to await the installation of another new lithium-ion battery next Wednesday.
I have control.
I have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. Okay, passing the GoPro. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery.
One more little one for the BRT.
Yep, if you go to the other side of the APFR, and then I'll get on my BRT and put a ret on it, I think.
Copy.
Oh, yes. I've got control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
Yep, you've got control of the battery.
And Chris, you'll want your BRT ret going to the battery tether point.
BRT ret to the battery tether point. Okay.
But you don't need to do that until you ingress the APFR. I'm not sure which order you wanted to do it in.
Yeah, it's more convenient to go to a scoop during the handoff, and then I'll switch it.
Copy.
I see your BRT.
Okay, I'm going to get a ret on there.
Copy that.
to the battery. I have control of the battery.
You're ready. You have control. Releasing my ret. Released.
And Chris, your go to ingress.
APFR.
Your go to ingress to APFR, and a reminder to assess your reach to the tools.
That's my reach to the tools. Copy that. Feel in.
Stand.
Okay, Chris, if you'll check your ingress aids tucked and your tethers are clear, and then with the handoff, you're going to end up with your BRT ret on the battery tether point, and then H2 is going to go in your BRT.
Okay, copy. I'm ready, Bob, and I have control.
Okay, I'll remove my ret, and you're happy with your tool access? Are we just installing this battery, or are we doing something more, Jasmine?
Take the adapter plate out.
Yep, exactly.
Bob, can you take control for just 1 second?
I'll take control back to standby. Okay, I have control.
You have control?
So we're in a different get ahead than was in our procedure. We're doing another adapter plate.
Yeah, A-firm, you're going to do the full swap. So, Bob, you'll end up with the adapter plate on your BRT, taking it back over to the IAA and installing it in slot 4 while Chris installs the battery that's going on his BRT into slot Bravo.
Okay, I'm back in. And Mag wants to kick these tools a little out of my reach.
Copy. Do you need to move that bag, Chris? Or if you want, Bob can translate onto the EP to help hand off tools as well.
I think I got it. Okay. I have control.
Okay, and it looks like where that ret might be.
Oh, yeah, that ret got a little...
I've got control if you want to fix it, or just let me know.
All right. It's fixed, and I have control.
You've got control of the battery.
Okay, Chris, you want to put the H2 scoop in your BRT.
H2 to my BRT. BRT ret to the middle.
A-firm.